In a certain village, not too far from the great forest of our land, there lived 3 young men. Everyone knew them as friends who went everywhere together. Where one was found, the other 2 were not far behind. They laughed together, worked together, and often dreamed aloud about becoming rich one day. But as they say, the heart of man is a mystery. It is only when money enters the picture that you truly know who your friends are. One hot afternoon, the 3 set out on a journey to a neighboring village. The road was long and dusty, winding through thick bushes and tall trees. The sun beat down on their backs, and they walked slowly, talking about the kind of life they wished to live. Suddenly, one of them noticed something strange beneath a pile of dry leaves by the roadside. "Wait! What is that?" he asked, pointing. They all bent down and pulled away the leaves. To their shock, a leather bag appeared. It was heavy. They untied the rope around its mouth and gasped. Inside, stacked neatly, were bundles upon bundles of money. Their eyes widened. For a moment, silence filled the air. Then joy burst out. "Huh! The gods have blessed us," one shouted. "We are rich," another screamed, dancing. But as quickly as joy entered, greed crept in like a thief in the night. Their laughter began to fade as each of them started thinking, "Why should I share this treasure?" 2 of the friends quietly pulled themselves aside. Whispering in hushed tones, they agreed on a wicked plan. "This money is too much to divide into 3, the first one said. "Yes," the second replied. "When our brother returns from the market, we will strike him down. Then the 2 of us will share the wealth." While they schemed, the third friend also had plans of his own. He had been sent to the village market to buy food and drink so they could celebrate their sudden fortune. On the way, his mind raced. "Why should I allow them to share this money with me? If I poison their food, the bag will be mine alone. No one will know." When he arrived at the market, he bought roasted yam, palm wine, and stew. Then, pretending to adjust his load, he poured a deadly powder into the food and smiled to himself. "Tonight," he whispered, "the money will be mine." Back at the forest, the 2 friends were waiting eagerly, sharpening sticks for their attack. When they saw him coming, their faces lit up with false smiles. They helped him place the food on the ground, praising him for his kindness. But in their hearts, they were wolves in sheep's clothing. As soon as the third friend sat down, they pounced. With heavy blows, they struck him until he lay motionless on the ground. Breathing heavily, they dragged the bag of money closer to themselves. At last, one said, "It is ours." But fate was not finished with them. Hunger soon gnawed at their bellies, and their eyes turned to the food their fallen friend had brought. Without hesitation, they began to eat and drink. They laughed in victory, chewing greedily, boasting about the life they would live with their newfound riches. But before long, their laughter turned to coughing. Their hands trembled, their eyes rolled, and they fell to the ground, gasping for breath. In moments, the 2 of them lay lifeless beside the one they had killed. The forest grew silent once again. The bag of money, the cause of their greed and destruction, sat untouched on the dusty roadside. Hours later, travelers passed by and discovered the tragic sight: 3 young men lying dead, with riches lying beside them. When they returned to the village with the news, the elders shook their heads and said, "Greed is a disease that kills faster than hunger." These 3 were friends, but the love of money turned them into enemies of one another. Let all who hear this story remember, wealth without wisdom leads only to death. And from that day, people told and retold the story of the 3 friends, teaching their children that money can buy many things, but it can never buy loyalty, nor can it protect a greedy heart from destruction.